Hey everybody, it's actually a really snowy morning where I live, so I wanted to make this video about some tips and tricks for driving in the snow. As you can see right there, that's how much snow is on the ground around me. So I'm going to place the camera down and let's make this video. Alright, so driving in the snow, here are some tips and tricks. Number one, you want to make sure that you're driving with your headlights on, whether it's daytime or nighttime. Now let me explain why. When you are driving at night, obviously you want to have your headlights on so that you can see the road in front of you. But I think that what's even more important than seeing the road in front of you is having other people see you when you're driving. So with that being said, you should be driving with your headlights on when it's snowing, whether it's daytime or nighttime, because at nighttime you want to see the road in front of you with your headlights, but during the daytime you want other people to see you when you have your headlights on. Okay, so that's the first tip and trick. The second tip and trick that I want to talk about is work your windshield wipers. Now right now it's still snowing outside, so there's water accumulating on my front windshield. And with that being said, if you let water accumulate on your front windshield, then it's going to be hard for you to see and it's going to be dangerous for you to drive. So with that being said, you should have your windshield wipers on. But if you have them on at too fast of a speed, then they're going to rub against the windshield and they're going to make it all messy. And you're going to have your windshield wiper fluid being used very often. So work the speed to coincide with the amount of water or snow that's building up on the windshield. You want to have them working fast enough to get rid of that water before it hinders your vision. But you don't want them to be too fast, so, in the sense of they're going to be smudging up your windshield, okay? So that's the second tip and trick. Tip and trick number 3 is to make sure that you have a nice full container or enough windshield wiper fluid. Now the reason that I say that is because you're going to be using it very often, whether it is your windshield being smudged up, whether it is slush, dirty slush landing on your windshield and dirtying your windshield, whether it is anything at all, you're going to need to use a lot of windshield wiper fluid when you're driving in the snow, especially when you're driving on roads that have already been driven and you're driving in the slush, just like I'm driving right now, okay? The next tip and trick is to slow down, okay? No matter whether it's heavy snow, like whether you have 10 centimeters of snow or just a few millimeters of snow, you really want to slow down. And that's because everything that you do while you drive is going to be different. When you take the turns, when you take any turns as you drive, it's going to be very slippery. You're going to have to slow down or you're going to spin out, and that can be very dangerous. When you want to accelerate, you have to do it slowly or else you're going to spin your tires, and that can be dangerous and cause some wear and tear on your tires. When you want to slow down, you have to do it slowly. When you want to brake, you have to do it slowly, because if you don't, you might skid or your ABS might kick in and you might get into an accident or slide into an intersection. So with that being said, it's important to slow down. Now hopefully your car is equipped with ABS, because ABS can be very beneficial when you're driving in the snow, because it allows you to steer basically when you're braking instead of skidding and not being able to steer and losing control. So it doesn't help braking distance so much. It's more the fact that you can steer clear of an accident if your ABS kicks in, whereas if you were skidding, then you're just you're not gonna have control of your steering. So that's another sort of tip and trick. Another tip and trick is that you have to increase your following distance greatly. Now it all depends on the speed that you're driving and where you live and so forth. But generally speaking, a good following distance is like 3 to 5 seconds for the most part. That's a good safe following distance. When you're driving in the snow, you should like double or even triple that. Like you're looking at closer to 10 seconds to even 12 seconds, 10 to 12 seconds as a good following distance. And that's because not only is your reaction time increased because your vision is hindered when you're driving in the snow, but also your braking distance greatly increases. Like if you look at the regular braking distance of a car, and then you look at the braking distance of that exact same car when it's driving in the snow, it is so much further, okay? Another tip and trick is to be mindful of the snow plows. Where I live, you have snow plows, that the city contracts, and they are plowing the roads, but you also have other independent people that are snow plowing driveways, and they have their own private business. And with that being said, you should just be mindful of them. You have to think about the fact that although you are on the road, you're going to the grocery store, you're heading to work, they are working right now, okay? So just be mindful of them. They're driving bigger vehicles with bigger plows at the front. Just be very mindful. Another tip and trick, and it goes hand in hand with slow down, is that the speed limit is different, is lower when the weather conditions are not ideal. Like right now, I'm driving on a road that the speed limit is 50, okay? And although on a regular day it would be safe to drive 50, now that I'm driving in this slush, I'm going 38 kilometers an hour right now. If it was heavy snow, I'd probably be going closer to 25 kilometers an hour. So if you're driving in heavy snow, I mean, you have to use your judgment, but my rule of thumb is half of the regular speed limit should be the max, absolute max speed that you are going. And I would recommend going even slower. So I'd probably be going about 20 kilometers an hour. And that's in a straight line. If there's a curve in the road, that number goes down even more. Listen, if you're in a rush, don't be in a rush when you're driving in the snow, okay? Figure out your schedule and your time so that you're not in a rush. That is a really, really good tip and trick that will probably save you and save everyone on the road from many accidents. If everyone would just get rid of this rush in their mind and figure out their schedule, then everybody would be we would have way fewer accidents. So with that being said, it's a nice snowy morning here. I don't mind driving in the snow because I use these tips and tricks. I know a lot of people hate driving in the snow, but once again, keep these tips and tricks in mind, and you should be able to get over the fear of driving in the snow, and you should really be able to drive in the snow safely. You will increase your likelihood of being safe while driving in the snow if you keep these tips and tricks in mind. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me know what your tips are for driving in the snow in the comment section down below. And above all, please be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.